stairs again. Welcome back. Hang on a sec. That's alright. Hang on. Bear with me. That better? Can you see me okay? I could put the camera light on, but I won't bother. I think you can see me okay. Right, so welcome back. Just got the skillet in there, stainless steel, just heating that through. Just a little bit of olive oil. Don't use hydrolyzed seed oils. The solvents they use are probable carcinogenics. The whole process is deleterious to health. So animal fats, olive oil is good if you can get it. Of course, olive groves are disappearing at a rapid rate from Portugal to Greece, and probably elsewhere. And what can you do? Probably avoid the seeds. A lot of them all seed rape, you know, that kind of thing. Canola and maize, anything that's genetically modified if you can help it. But as I say, we're losing an awful lot of our olive groves, our old ones, and they can be replanted anytime soon. I used to be planting as restoration, but it's maybe too little, too late. You know, there's salt in there. I say you can mess around with this. I would normally have garlic, but I don't have it. I could have gone and got some ransoms leaves, a few poking through maybe. You know, needs must. I'll be honest with you, it smells that bad. I cheated. I actually took it outside. It was smelling so bad. Finished it off on the gas hob outside. There were more maggots. I had to take his skin off because the maggots were all underneath the skin. So I stripped those off. Rinsed it all well a couple of times. Rinsed it in boiling water in the brine. Yeah, gave it a sniff. Still smells bad. I don't think it's going to taste all that good, which is why, initially at least, I've just done a little bit. Let's put the cayenne in. Yes. Just done just the hind legs, which is the best bit really. The haunches, there's plenty of meat on there. I'm just going to give it a try before I do any more. I might demonstrate even with it tomorrow. Otherwise, see if the dog's interested. If not, leave it on the track. The tawnies might take it in the night. If not, the crows definitely will tomorrow. They're very undiscerning. The jackdaws, ravens, even the buzzards around here. Anything carrion will probably carry it off. Nice tasty eating, but I ain't gonna be eating it if it tastes as bad as it smells. It smells horrible. So bear with me, and let's get that going nice and hot. That oil hot. You can always just get a little bit of water on your finger. Throw it in the pan. If it spits, it's hot enough to cook with. So squizzles, where are the squizzles? So yeah, just process the two rear haunches. Nice eating on there. Well, a couple of healthy bites for someone. And so I'll get a plate ready just in case. They're not tasty, in which case I'll throw a bit of butter on those spuds. I might fry an egg in the residual fat. I mean, I haven't cleaned that skillet. I did some steak and eggs in it, and I've just left that in, so I'm sure it'll add to the flavour. But you could play around with something like this, and we'll know within a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, whether it's a bad idea or a good idea. But we'll have proved it one way or another. You know, it's just science at the end of the day. Carly's Extreme Cookery. You wait till I've got something else for you. I mean, have you actually tried fish fingers and custard? It works. Like a few other things that might surprise you, I've discovered. Like digestive chocolate biscuits dipped in minestrone soup. Who would have thought that would be good? It's heavenly, I assure you. Can't get anybody else to try it for some reason. Right, moving right along. Right, so get a little bit of water on the finger. We have a monkey in jar situation. Give that a little hiss maybe. Oh, now you're talking. Place those in that flour just a few times over and under. Get a bit of that cayenne on. And I might just lift it, and if it has got a gamey, you know, the kind of acrid gamey taste you get with meat that's been around for a while. Anyone who's travelled in Asia will know what I'm talking about. And certainly fans of game and people who are familiar with roadkill. Lovely. So I'll get a little bit hotter if I close it. I don't need to stick another log on. Probably that'll do me for the night. Oh, I've got a few lumps of coal that will go on there. It's 7:30 now, so normally go to bed fairly early, 9:30, 10, 6, and I'll do me till then. I'll just give those probably 4 minutes each side, flip them at 7:25, give them a little snip test. But yeah, might as well get cleaned up a little bit. And I invested in paper plates because I can't bother to wash up, which is outside. It's too cold. So I'm out of virtually every plate. So instead of washing up, I bought some paper plates. And I've looked back. In fact, I've been doing that because otherwise the paper plate is too unstable. Even if one uses 2 paper plates, which is wasteful. We don't like waste. I feel like I should entertain you with a ditty or something whilst we wait, because I mean it's going to be 3 or 4 hours of dead cookery time, and ordinarily I'd prepare something beforehand and say 3 minutes later, a little bit later, and then I'd have another one prepared and I'd pretend to take it out of the oven and say, these smell delicious. And then all of the other people in the studio, all the celebrities, and I don't know who any of these people are, talk about deadbeat third fucking rate, and they're making the show for 250,000, so they're not paying these guys a great deal, just giving them a feed and a hotel, send them a car, massage their egos, you go for the call. Some people just greedy fat bastards want good food. But even when they hate it, you can see them, you can tell it's instant they put it in their mouth, and they're just praying the TV in until it'll take the camera off them so they can gob it back onto the fucking plate and drink the water out of the jug and say, fuck, that's disgusting. And then when it hits back on them a few minutes later, they recompose themselves. They're pretending to chew a bit of white bread, going, yeah, it's the creamy flavours, isn't it? It's so delicious. And some of them are actors, so what do you expect? And the others are politicians, you can't trust them fuckers. And everyone else is so corrupt, they'll say what the fuck you like as long as they get payday, hence advertising and product endorsement, which is why I don't talk about my grand sports books, Small Forest Acts. Carly likes. Oh. Shade with this, mate, isn't it? I had to let it go blunt because you could literally, I used to hold a piece of paper when I first got it to demonstrate it, and you could just cut the page in half. A4 quite thick vellum as well, one of it cheap foolscap. Okay, it was amazing. You could hear it, it could cook the molecules of the air. And I had to let it go sharp. I've never sharpened it, not once, and I've had the thing 20 years. Because it was lethal. It's like my cookery and my first few machetes, just unusable because they were too dangerous. You go through to cut a bramble and you'd be straight through to your leg and you go, oh, and you don't want to look. It's one of those injuries where you know it's bad, but you think by not looking at it, it's not going to be as bad. It works sometimes. It does help with the initial whoosh of pain, and you tell your body, don't send all the gang, because that's what happens. Your body sends all of your bloody repair crew all at once, and they get jammed in all the fucking pathways. You need to calm the fuck down so those guys can get through the sequel file and quickly assess the situation and get off the fucking processing the pasta, otherwise you lose your leg. And then when you start to feel that wet in your toes, when you know it's real bad, you're fucking leaking, and your boots start to fill up, and you're thinking, I'm going to have to address this because I've only got so much, because I know they say we're 90% wool, but you haven't got that much in weight of fucking liquid before you deed. This might smoke a bit. Right, we're about there, about a minute. Right, just get a fork and the glove. I've lost the correct oven glove, unfortunately. I don't know where things go in this house. Ah, there it is. I threw it on the telly. Yeah, so I'll turn the generator off because I charged everything up that I needed to, because solar PV does fuck all at this time of the year. I mean, it's less than 3% of what you'd expect on a sunny day, but we are only a week away from solstice less. A few days, so I don't know what you expect. But even so, with my experience of being on solar for 17 years or whatever, in my experience, you're better off with a diesel or petrol generator and either making your own bioethanol, reversing it off plastic, or using sugary feedstock like sugar beet or sugar cane, maize, or going the diesel route. You can make diesel out of fucking most oily things better than eating them in processed oil foods, so I'll put it in an engine. EVs don't work with batteries and they're dangerous because of the EMFs that you're sitting on top of, and they're potentially batteries. If we ever turn it to C60, 61, then you might actually just be bombs. That's why they've flooded the rest of in Europe and the Anglosphere, because they're under attack, and most of them don't know about war and they're about to lose big time. It's alright, very bit and will rise from the ashes. It'll just take me 30 years to fix it all, if the people trust me enough. Now, if possible, that smells even worse than it did when it was boiling. And then when it was boiling, it still had maggots in. Incidentally, I found the fly. It was one of the flies, and it looked like a kind of small fruit fly. And the larvae were twice the size of the parent, which is uncommon, but sort of suggests that the parent, I couldn't identify it, must have had some, unique gear or something, something extraordinary. It needed more work. It needed a larger larvae to create a more complex creature. So it might have had quite a complex ovipostular, for instance, or a sting, or have outgrown in one way to give it a greater capacity. So didn't recognise it. Could be a new species. Didn't keep a sample either because I was so grossed out by maggots and I was taking them out, but kind of just flushed all the water going, ew, and it stank to high heaven, still does. We were only 1 minute away. She can bear to business. He tried to ramble. I didn't want him to get bored because, the longer you engage on YouTube, the more I'll get. I don't tell if the channel's monetized and frankly don't care. Dog, yes, this is new dog. We've rehomed Shandy Poo. She's a lovely dog, as you know, always hungry. Looks really skinny. We've wormed her. She does firm turds and she's regular. She's just really hungry, aren't you? All the time. I think she's one of those dogs that's been hungry. You know what it's like? If you've ever been hungry, you're just always worried where your next meal's coming from. So she's always got some dry in the bowl, but she's very picky about that. I think her teeth hurt. She's 7 after all. My age, give or take. And I've got no fucking teeth. And hers look alright, but I don't want to give her a troll, so she doesn't like the crunchy too much. She'll regrettably eat it. I tried to put the wet on and slopping it up, and then she's more likely to eat it. But it's got water down, she can wet her whistle afterwards. 28, we're ready. Right, it's a treat. Let's have a look. I'm not risking the potatoes just yet. Just going to get it on the plate. Get it cooled down nicely. Oh, it's tender. Juicy as well. So just get one of them bad boys. In fact, I'll take that off, because if I leave that on, that'll get overdone. And I might even be tempted to just wrap that one in foil for a minute. Wrap it in foil for a minute. Out. And leave him for 5 or 10 minutes to relax and see if that blends anything to the mix. They say might as well do as many experiments as we can whilst we've got him here. Very tender and juicy, falling off the bone. Look at that. In fact, it would be nice if I could look at that. Glasses. Right. What are we looking like? The flavour has improved. It does. It smells. It smells a bit like leveret, to be honest, and it has the same texture. Leveret's good, as we know. Probably the best meat other than squirrel I've tasted till now. So this hanging may well have worked. Let's give it a taste test. You'll know if we've got to spit it out, so I will just flop it out on the floor, and that might be because it's too hot. Mate, that is glorious. I am not shitting you. That has made it much better. Bit too much salt, actually. Didn't probably need half as much salt. That's fucking lovely. Alright. Tomorrow, deep frying breadcrumbs. I'll invest in a couple more ingredients, I think, but that, if it wasn't too salty, Wow, that's getting a potato. Journal. Right. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to get down to my tea now. Oh, really salty then. I must have been heavy-handed with that shaker. Not used it a lot. But when it was outside, it was half clogged with moisture. Now it's been in here. I'm getting more per twist. It's my fault. I've over-salted that. Never mind. I'm quite sensitive to salt. I don't use a lot of it in my cookery. Anyway, thank you for joining Carl's Extreme Cookery. Next week it's Carly's Cathedral Tours. I know, it gets more eclectic each visit. Thank you for joining me. Trullers.